Hi everyone, I'm Francois. Today I'll be looking at these two watches from Swiss Watch Company and I'll be comparing the two. I already did a review of this one and you saw me unboxing this one. If you haven't, well, I'll leave a link right there. But if you did, you can view the comparison between the Bunker and the ARK. So let's get right into it because it's time to watch. I wanted to go through the differences between the two watches, but also wanted to compare what they have in common. Here is the ARK, and here is the Bunker. And the very first thing that they don't have in common is the pouch. This pouch here for the Bunker is a true leather. And this one here is kind of a synthetic material. And with the upcoming Hyper G that's coming, I truly hope that they have at least a real leather pouch, at least softer than this one, but not as stiff and not as, I would say, artificial or synthetic as this one. So that's the main difference. And you can see off the bat the differences between the two, with the Bunker with a central second and the ARK with a small second at the 6 o'clock. And this brings me to say that you can obviously see that the movement is completely different. You have an automatic movement in the Bunker and you have a quartz movement in the ARK. Both of them are Swiss made. This one is a Sellita SW200-1. This one is a Ronda 6004.D as in David. Not to compare with the B, because the B has a small second, but it has a huge date. I think they call it a big date, B for big date, right? In this case here, you have a small date at the 3 o'clock. In this case here, you have a small date at the 6 o'clock. The other comparison that I can make is that you have also, obviously, I should say, differences in the straps. So this is a leather strap with that contrasting stitching. This one is a nylon Velcro strap. So essentially it's infinite adjustment on your wrist. I must say that I like the look and feel of the Bunker, but the ARK is so comfortable. I have a nylon Velcro strap for the Bunker, but because I have the ARK, I see myself wearing the ARK much more often because of the comfort level of that nylon strap. Of course, it has less material because it's a little smaller, and this brings me to the specifications, the measurements, and this is a major factor in the differences. So the ARK here has a thickness of 8.5 millimeters. Let's see that there. But the difference on this one, the Bunker, is not that much. If you can see, you can compare them, you see the differences. It's 1.5 millimeters. So the Bunker is 10 millimeters thick, and this one is 8.5. So you have 1.5 millimeters, but for an automatic watch this thin, this is fantastic. So the diameter for the ARK is 38 millimeters versus 41 for the Bunker. It wears more, the Bunker wears more like a 42, maybe a 43 because of that fixed bezel. You kind of have more dial than bezel. And it's the same for the ARK. The ARK is a 38 millimeters, but it wears more like a 39 or even a 40 millimeters. So I like the form factor of both of them because, as you may know from my G-Shock series, I like larger watches. The lug to lug on the ARK is 45 millimeters and 46 on the Bunker. It's a lug width of 20 millimeters on the ARK and 22 on the Bunker. Both of them have, I would say, quote unquote, standard widths And of course, obviously more material on this one with a leather strap. It's heavier on the wrist. The Bunker has 55 grams and the ARK has 35 grams. So there's a full 20 grams differences. And yes, this is a quartz movement, so it's lighter than an automatic movement. So those are the main differences. But what are the similar traits? Well, both are titanium, grade 2, hardened to 1,000 Vickers. So essentially what that says is that it adds a Swiss watch company added kind of a coating on it so that it adds robustness to the titanium, which is relatively soft. Just to compare, if you don't have any coating on these titanium watches, you have something like 830 Vickers in regards to hardness. So it's much harder. And as you can see, I've been wearing this watch. You can see by the patina and the oxidization on there, it proves that I've been wearing this watch and there's no scratch on it. They both have a signed screwed down crown. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe not. There it is. Yes, no, maybe. Voila, both of them are signed. Some don't really like the logo. They kind of don't understand the logo. I find it that is well balanced and it's clean. It's a nice, clean logo. Both of them have sapphire crystal with 16 layers of AR. So if you can see the kind of the blue hue right there, well, that's further proof that they have anti-reflective coating, 16 layers. They both have lume on there, and they both have X1 grade super luminova, but it's 20 layers of X grade super luminova. They say that it's BL10 grade. The BL10 basically says it's the blue line, so they're not specifically saying it's BGW9. It may be the light blue, but the light blue is something like 7 or 8% less bright, not as bright as the BGW9. And of course, you see here they have drilled lugs, which makes it easy to interchange the straps. And both of them have 100 meters of water resistance. Let's look at the case back. I'll look at the case back one by one. It's really kind of easy in a sense, because if you look at this one here, you see the name Bunker and all the rest is kind of the same except the type of movement, which is automatic with 28,800 beats per minute, beats per hour as opposed to hertz. And this one here is Swiss-made titanium with the name ARK here. It doesn't talk about the movement itself other than it's Swiss-made. And here you still have the Swiss-made because this is a Swiss Salida movement. So all in all, the only differences are the type of movement, and the name. But like I said earlier, you have that patina, that type of oxidation on the titanium, which I really like. I don't mind that the titanium changes a little in regards to the look and feel, because you don't want to baby your watch. You want to wear your watch, and it adds character to the watch. So what I'll do is I'll one by one put them on my wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. Before I put the other ones on, I need to take this one off. This is part of my Islander watch series of watch reviews. And I'll start with this one. Well, you've seen a few. I think I've showcased 3 watches from the Islander series. This one I would say is my favorite of the bunch. It's a quote-unquote yacht master-ish type of look and feel, and it really runs really well. It's comfortable on the wrist. It's nice and simple. So I'll be reviewing this very shortly. So let me put the other ones on the wrist and we'll wrap this up. I started with this one. Like I said, this one is the most comfortable one. It's the one with less material because it's smaller, a smaller form factor. and so it's very, very light, 20 grams less than the Bunker. So this one is the ARK. As you can see, it wears thin on the wrist, and it's really comfortable. Let's look at the other one. And here is the Bunker. As you can see, it's a little larger form factor. Like I said, it's much heavier with 20 grams more at 55 grams in total. It still wears kind of thin on the wrist, as you can see. And another difference is, because this is a strap with buckle, it's a signed titanium buckle. And it has the same hardness coating on it. I like the contrast stitching, and it comes out really well with that cream dial. So, of course, hope you like this type of review. If you do, press the like button, and don't hesitate, leave a comment. It's always appreciated. And if you do subscribe, don't hesitate, press that notification bell. This way, you'll be notified of my upcoming reviews, one of which is this Yachtmaster-like Islander. So, truly appreciate you tuning in, and hope to see you next time.